The content of this video is purely for entertainment and informational purposes. The statements made in this video are not factual, and all opinions and claims discussed are false and should not be taken as truth. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the power of leverage whilst reselling. It was a concept I spoke about in my last video. I was talking about how I needed to install or put in place systems that allow me to have leverage in my own business. And today I want to talk about that in two different ways that we can do that for a reselling business. They're two very sort of different ways we can do it. One, I won't reveal what they are, but one is very much more automated and much more, I guess, easier to set up. And one is a bit more complex and takes a bit of time to fully get going. But we'll get to them soon. But first, I want to talk about what leverage actually is. So in the context, okay, let's read it. So in the context of exerting less effort but achieving more, leverage refers to using resources, tools, or strategies to amplify the results of your actions. It means applying a relatively small amount of effort or investment to gain a much larger return or impact. And yeah, obviously that's straight from ChatGPT, so it knows what it's talking about. But a lever, if you think of like what a lever is and like a fulcrum, right? So if I had, I don't know, like this card holder and this fucking phone, if I have it like that, it's so much harder to like lever upwards, isn't it? So it's putting in so much more effort and getting so little out of it. Whereas if I put the phone in the middle, all I need to do is just flip it like that, put a little bit of force in, and it gives me so much more output. Mary, shut the fuck up! Shush! Anyway, so as I was saying, before I got rudely interrupted by my dog, leverage is, if you use it in your favor, it is like your best friend. If you don't and you let your competitors use it, you're going to be in a world of pain. You'll be trying so much harder and achieving so little in comparison to the effort that they're putting in and what they're getting out. So it's important that you apply these two concepts I'm going to talk about today into your business, or at least consider them for your reselling business if you are reselling. And you, even if other businesses as well, you can use these strategies in other businesses too. But yeah, next slide. So yeah, as I said, we have a small problem solving force, large effect on system behavior, high leverage point. They fucking worded that very poorly. But basically, what we have here is, so we've got, obviously, here's my mouse. So we've got a problem, we've got a leverage point, and we've got a large effect. So basically, what we're doing with leverage is we have a problem that needs to be solved, and we're using a tool or something that can help us solve this problem easier than if we were to do it ourselves, if that makes sense. This is sort of just off the top of my head, and I didn't study at university a business degree or whatever the fuck, so I don't know these fucking concepts. I'm just a kid who fucking runs a fucking clothing shop, okay? So just fucking relax. Alright, so leverage and reselling. So leverage and reselling is vital. There's only so much you can do as an individual. There's only so many customers you can reach on your own. Only so many drop-offs you can do in a day. Only so much time in the day. So in order to grow, you need to outsource time-consuming tasks. So yes, you need to outsource tasks that are taking up your time and that are stopping you working on the business while you're actually working in the business, if that makes sense. So you're spending so much time, right, doing tasks within the business. Like for reselling example, it'd be like manually scrolling through and finding all the different fucking products or whatever that you need to buy. It would be fucking doing 100 fucking drop-offs a day. It would be, you know what I mean? Like those like tasks of like working within the business rather than working on the business, where it's like, how do I reach more customers, or how do I fucking do whatever, Like stuff that's going to help you grow your business as opposed to just maintaining it and trimming the fucking hedges. Okay? Now, I'm going to get into some examples in a moment. But first, I want to talk about the types of reselling. So, as I've got here, I've got number one is face to face selling as rep. Number two is face to face selling as real. Number three is online selling as rep. Number four is online selling as real. And you can sort of see where I'm going with this. We've got two very distinct sort of things. We've got face to face versus online, and replica versus real. And these are probably two of the most important sort of factors in reselling, and they sort of create different variations, as we can see here. So we've got 4 different variations of businesses we can run in reselling. So starting off with number one, face to face selling as rep, which is what I do. Risky, I'd say it's 3 out of 10. You're not telling them it's real. But there's always a chance that you could get robbed. Doing stuff face to face, there's always a chance of something that could go wrong. Honestly, it's probably not even 3 out of 10, because if it was 3 out of 10, like 3 out of 10 people don't try to rob me, you know? It's like, I've never been robbed, so I'd probably be like 0.01% or some shit, you know? Reward 6 out of 10. So obviously, if you're selling as fake, you can't charge like an unbelievable like price, you know. Some designer items you can get away with charging a bit more, and like watches and stuff like that, but you can't be charging like fucking like like if you were selling like a fake roller, you can't fucking charge like $5,000, you know. Like they're not going to buy that. They'd rather just go buy like a real one, you know. So notes: low risk as sale is transparent. Yeah, so transparent in the fact that buyer and seller knows what's going on. Decent profit margins if you have the right product. Number two is face to face is real. I've done this before as well. Risky. I would say, yeah, it's quite risky doing that in person. Like back in the day, if you sell AirPods and that, like the nerves would be sky high, boys. If you're fucking selling AirPods is real back in the day. But reward is 9 out of 10 because you're literally like charging close to like retail value, or like a little bit under. Like you're fucking buying AirPods for like $15, selling for $200. You know, like profit margins. What's that? That's like fucking like 12 times profit margins. You know, something that's just like insane. Risky as person may discover it may be fake. So if they do discover it's fake, you never know. They might have a fucking swing. They might call the cops. You might have to fucking do a runner. You know what I mean? It's like all those things can go wrong if you're selling that as real and they discover it's fake. But yeah, as I said, selling as real equals high margins. Number 3 is online replica. I've done this as well. So risky 2 out of 10. So it's not really risky at all. Like as I say in the notes over here, the worst case scenario is your account gets shut down or something. Like who gives a fuck about that? Just make a new one. Decent margins, but money gets taken from Vinted, Depop, eBay, etc. So yeah, if you're selling online, especially on like those 3 platforms as I've just said, like eBay and shit will take like a fucking percentage of that fucking margin. Fucking scumbag. It's like 10 or like 15% or something like that, which is just fucking annoying. Like, yeah, they did get you the customer, but still like get fucked. And the reward out of that is 5 out of 10. So yeah, it's like decent. Like, but as I said, you gotta pay fucking like shipping and fucking eBay and shit if you don't add like shipping on or whatever to that the cost of the item, which just sucks. So it just takes away from your fucking profit. And number 4 is online is real. So risky 6 out of 10. I would say it's like a medium risk depending on the product. If you're selling like dog shit stuff, it's like you're gonna get shut down straight away. Or if you're selling like electronics or something, like I know the boys back in the day used to fucking pump AirPods on eBay and that, and they'd just be like shit house and they wouldn't work. So like obviously you get the person wants a refund if they're not gonna work. They just spent $250 on some AirPods and they don't work, and then you just want to keep the money, you know. Or if it's like shit quality clothes or whatever. I don't have a problem with selling as real if if the clothes or whatever are up to like a really good standard, if you know what I mean. Like this video actually, before we will get into it soon, but I made this video after seeing what one of the guys in the Discord had posted how he's making a killing doing online through Vinted. Shout out to GK. And GK, I guess I can tell him, or I can, let's just say GK isn't transparent about fucking what he sells. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything more on that. But let's just say he's not transparent. But I already know with what he's selling, the quality of it is so high that it's pretty much indistinguishable from an original item, let's say. Um, so yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. But in my opinion, some of that stuff is so good, like the clothes and that. Like it's just like it's the exact same as what an original piece would be. And I'm sure you know what I mean. I've sort of got to speak a little bit cryptic on that because I don't want to get my friend in trouble. But from as an ethical standpoint, I think why not? If people are going to pay that price, so be it. Sorry, boys, bit of deodorant. All right, and that's all I'll say on that. And reward as you're charging as fucking real or as original. Obviously, the reward is going to be a lot higher. Moving on. All right, and this is what I was telling old mate in the chat yesterday in the reselling the Discord. An analogy. So doing in real life is like being like a street drug dealer. It is the exact same as being a street drug dealer. Like you have like the exact same customers pretty much, like literally the exact same sort of like clientele as an actual street dealer would have. Whereas if you're doing it online, it's sort of like you're selling on like Silk Road, and you have access to so much more customers. And these are the 2 points that I'm going to get into, and it's the two core levers in reselling: is the internet and employees. And these are our two core levers for our two different business types, online and face-to-face. Now, for employees, I put online as well because you sort of can get someone to do it for you. But honestly, it's that easy that you can probably just do it yourself because you're just putting in like the mail or whatever. You could pay someone to put it in the mail or whatever and completely automate it, but there's no real need to do it, to be honest. So yeah, the internet and employees are our two core levers in reselling, right? Now the internet, and when I say internet, I mean like websites that help you sell. Obviously, everyone uses the fucking internet. Like you got to post on Facebook Marketplace to get a face-to-face sale, if you know what I mean. But I'm talking about actual like sites where you can sell directly and ship to them. So we're talking about Vinted, Depop, eBay, etc. There might be some more. I don't fucking know, Macari or whatever the fuck it's called. Now, from what I can hear, but what I've heard, Vinted is fucking pretty fucking amazing over there in the UK and in the US. So the internet is a highly useful tool to resell. And who would have thought of that? That blows me away. The internet is a useful tool. The internet gives you access to a limitless amount of customers. This is like pretty basic sort of stuff, if you know what I mean. But I'm fucking making this video because of what old mate posted yesterday, which I'm going to show in a second. And if used correctly, it allows you to cross competition and make what I call, oh, where the fuck's my mouse? There we go. Wi-Fi money. Next slide, motherfucker. And this is what GK was posting yesterday in the fucking winnings, and it blew me away. I'm sure he doesn't mind me posting this or giving him a shout out because, fucking, he's the one who posted it himself. So as you can see over here, we'll start over here. On this, he's got multiple Vinted accounts just for reference. £95,000 revenue, earnings to date. £60,000. Yeah, that one, 60,000. It's the same one. But that is a fuck. That is like 200,000 Australian dollars, and that's like 120,000. That's like 320 fucking Australian dollars. All right, that's unbelievable. That like I think I wouldn't even fucking come close to that. I'd barely be scratching fucking 100K, right? 320,000. Think about that for a minute. That is a lot of fucking money. That is a lot of money from fucking reselling. That's a lot of fucking sales you would have had to do. Now, like I said, GK isn't transparent about what he sells, and that's his decision. That's not mine. Um, but like I said, I don't really have a problem with it, and there really isn't a problem with how he's doing it because I think it's completely fine. Um, but yeah, this is the power of the internet, right? You can reach so many more people than you could face to face. If GK was selling what he was doing on Marketplace or whatever, there's no way he would be able to make this much by himself, as we'll get to soon. There's no way. He couldn't, it would take him fucking forever to do that. You know, he'd have to be averaging like if $320,000, you have to be doing like almost $1,000 a day for like almost a year, you know, in Australia to make that sort of money, you know, which is unreasonable. You have to be selling like for me, that'd be like 20 hats a day for like almost a year, which is just nuts. But yeah, as this is the type of leverage you can use, right? The internet. Now, GK hinted at the fact that having multiple Vinted accounts is the key to his success. Like I said, I don't really use I can't use Vinted because I'm in Australia. It's not allowed in here or whatever. You don't have it here. But in Australia, we've got similar ones like Depop and obviously eBay. But like, it blows me away. Like I'm sort of speechless because there's no way I would be able to earn this much doing this myself, like on the ground, if you know what I mean, like as like a street dealer, if that makes sense. And this is why I compared it to the analogy street dealer versus Silk Road, right? He can just fucking put it in a parcel and send it to fucking some cunt in England, right? And you can just do that to what? How many people in England? Like fucking 20 million or some shit? Let me search this up real quick. English population. 70 million people. Like he has access to 70 million people in England who he can ship it to. That's his customer base, 70 million. Now, obviously, not all of them, like there's fucking grannies and shit that aren't going to buy it. But there's a lot of people in that fucking consumer base who buy like essentials or Trapstar or whatever he sells. I can see a Burberry hoodie there too, or whatever he sells. Yeah, which is just fucking ridiculous, right? So he has access to like fucking an incomprehensible amount of people, right? Like, think of it this way. I make a fuck ton of money myself selling to about, I don't know, 200 customers that come back. This dude probably has access, like, realistically, easily, like, I'm probably lowballing this high, but like 50,000 people, you know? 50,000 people would be like in here, like his fucking customer sort of range, like background that would buy the stuff that he sells, you know, like they'd be interested in buying Burberry hoodies or essentials or fucking denim tears or whatever. I have I'm 200, he has 50,000. That is just leverage, all right? This is fucking this is me, my fucking 200 customers. This is him with his fucking 50,000. You know what I mean? Like it's not fair. And it's not saying that he's cheating or whatever. He's just been smart and been able to use the tools that he has, like the internet, like Vinted, all right? And that is the power of having tools like this. You get access to such a large customer base. It's not even funny. And if you have the good shit, the good product like he does, the one-to-one shit, you can pump that out all day and make that much, all right? If you do it correctly. Now moving on. Number 2 is employees. This is what I do as a face-to-face. So let's just say me and GK and AK are the two faces of these different paths, face-to-face versus online. I have what's called employees. As I've said here, I put drug runners because that's what these people who sell for you are. They're runners. They do the groundwork. They do the sales for you. All right, and then I put another picture of a stock photo of another employee who works at some fucking company. I don't know, some bullshit. Anyway, employees. Employees are great. Let me go to the actual thing. Employees slash runners is the only way you can expand a face-to-face reselling business beyond yourself. Like plain and simple. I cannot think of any other ways that you're going to sell to people face to face that doing it yourself or getting someone else to do it. Like, you're not going to have some fucking robot go around and do it for you, are you? You can't just have a fucking self-driving Tesla that fucking drives around to all these different spots, you know? Like, that just doesn't fucking happen. Okay? Unless you do like Uber package or some shit. But that's just fucking bullshit. Alright, so you personally have a certain limit to how much you can do. So I only have a certain number of hours where I can go see people, do drop-offs, and like I'm limited to that, you know? I'm limited to that. So having like a runners or people who sell for you, employees, is the only truly passive way, is you don't have to lift a finger while you get paid. So you have other people selling products for you, and they take a percentage, and you keep the rest or whatever. And obviously, it varies on what product you're going to have and what you're selling. But generally, I let them keep about, depending on the person and like where they're located and who they're selling to or whatever, it's 20 to 40%. And remember, you don't have to fucking do anything. All you got to do is just give them the stuff, and they go source the customers themselves. They fucking charge whatever they want, and then you get fucking money in your account, you know? So as you can see here, GK's making me look fucking like a bum, but I've just started doing this. This is the last video I made, was where I was explaining that I was going to start implementing this. So as you can see here, this was actually from yesterday. So this screenshot was sent to me last night, Sunday 2nd of March 2025, 11:06. This guy, one of my runners, sent me $130 because he got 3 sales. So you can see here the conversations. I asked him how many hats you sold in total, and he said, "Yeah, just the one customer you got me, and the 2 now I'll get paid tomorrow for." So as you can see here, fucking, he's given me $130 and I've done nothing, you know. Now obviously that doesn't compare to GK's fucking 4 fucking million that he's made or whatever the fuck, because he's a rich cunt. But you can see the benefits of doing it if you're running face to face, like you probably are going to be in Australia because you don't have access to like Vinted or whatever. And this here is like a Snapchat photo of what another guy sent me of what he made, and obviously I get probably the majority percentage of that. So you can see how the importance of having like leverage in reselling, because there's only a certain limit to what you can do yourself, what you can do in person, all right? Why do you think do you think like $1 billion corporation, right? You think fucking Tesla, if Elon Musk, so he's the owner or whatever, right? The main owner. Do you think he'd be able to make every single Tesla by himself? Do you think he'd be able to sell every single Tesla by himself? You think he'd be able to like check everything, put it all together, manufacture the parts, fucking drive out to the lithium fucking mine, pick up the lithium himself in the truck, make the fucking battery, the lithium battery. You know what I mean? That's just fucking ridiculous. So there comes a point where you need to outsource certain tasks. Otherwise, the business doesn't grow. All right? Simple as that. And although I get less money if I sold the hats myself, you need to delegate these tasks. Otherwise, the business doesn't grow. And it's a very hard thing to do, especially as someone who, like, it is like a very like common thing with business owners, like not even like reselling, just like in general, of businesses who don't grow because people refuse to get employees or whatever, right? They they can only get to a certain point without needing like employees to expand. And that's just like the fucking, if you guys have done economics or whatever, the production possibilities curve or whatever it's called. You can only do a certain amount. You can only give a certain output before you need more input. There's only a limit to what you can do, and I keep repeating it, but this is such an important concept that you need to understand. It is probably like the most important concept to growing the business or any business in general. All right, you need to adopt like principles that allow you to do more leverage. And as I talk about all the time in my other videos, the Alex Hormozy guy, that fucking guy, he talks about it all the time. Leverage, leverage, leverage. And the only way you get to be a fucking multi-billion-dollar CEO who's built a company from the ground up is by having the balls to outsource tasks that you think you can do better than a person, right? So you get an employee and you have to train them up and teach them how to do it, okay? And then, see, think of it like this, right? Say, I don't know, you own like a mechanics or whatever, a mechanic shop, right? And you can only get to like fucking 10 cars a day. Now you need to bring on another mechanic, right? An apprentice mechanic. Okay, let's say an apprentice. You need to train him up to fucking do the shit that's taking up your time. So like, you could be over here working on big fucking Timmy's car, who's got fucking a bunch of fucking problems with it, while fucking Miss fucking Tilly's car over here needs a fucking oil change. You got to teach the fucking apprentice how to do the simple oil change. Even though you could do it better yourself, you could do the oil change yourself and be faster and quicker. You've still got to teach the apprentice. Otherwise, you can't fucking get to fucking old mate's cars over here, who's earning you the big bucks. And I know I'm saying this like really poorly and like a really fucking, I'm so bad at like explaining like these ideas, but I think you sort of get what I mean when I say that. But yeah, just to recap, let's go back through and have a look quickly. So there's types of reselling. There's face-to-face versus online and replica versus real. A leverage is fucking where we have a leverage point like the internet or an employee where we have a small amount of input but we get a large fucking output from it, okay? The two core levers in reselling are the internet and employees. And examples, we've got Vinted, Depop, eBay, etc. And then we've got GK, the fucking example for online leverage. And then myself, the bum who made fucking $130 as the fucking IRL fucking example with employees. Okay? And that'll pretty much do us. I know this was a classic little yap session, but I hope you sort of got some value from that, because this is really important to understand if you want to grow. So if you already have an existing business or reselling business, you'll get to the point where you'll just be so fucking busy, you won't be able to do it yourself. So you need to outsource stuff. And I know it's hard. I know it's painful to like train people up and get people to do it properly who don't fuck you around, who don't fuck everything up or get fucking shit stolen or whatever. This is all stuff I had to deal with when getting employees or like runners. They fucking retarded, but you need to deal with that shit. You need to find the good ones and find good employees. Otherwise, your business will just stay at that same thing forever. There will be no growth, alright? But anyways, it's getting fucking half an hour now, so I'll let it go. And I'll talk to you boys in the next video.